Farmer Jeep coming to you from Appalachian America, God's country in the Pisgah National Forest. Our neighbor's house. We got to have dinner with our new neighbors this weekend. Credible people, Dave and Dawn. Sure, a breath of fresh air compared to the evil man that lived here. Used this, he called it his stabbing cabin. Stabbing cabin. He used to meet girls up here. I'm sure his wife didn't know. He had another place in Florida that he met him from the east coast of Florida. But this was Gil Rieder Carlson's shagging cabin. He picked up a girl, had a hair salon and massage parlor down there in the holler, a town called Bakersville. He'd have her come up and vacuum his carpets and clean his clock. But yeah, his name was Gil Rieder Carlson, real white-collar criminal. Embezzled $900,000 from a German industrialist called Gerd Petrie on a used car sales lot that he had. He had a girlfriend on the east coast of Florida that he would meet, take a limo over to the auction in the middle of the state of Florida, have his East Coast girlfriend meet him there, stay in freaking hotels, first class limo, all the shebang. Peed through this German industrialist, Gerd Petrie from Germany. He went back to Germany with cancer, never could get his money from this piece of shit, Gil Rieder Carlson. But anyway, so he built this first half, so dumb. I mean, they had to dig it down about 4 feet, put the whole place up on jacks because he built it without a permit on untreated wood. So that's the front half of the house. So got a great contractor, all cement now. Now the back half of the house was built by a local, again without a contractor license. His name was Ed Silman. All he is a Mennonite, fake Mennonite from California that builds Civil War reenactment carriages and cedar chests. And this guy put the whole back section on of the house without any treated wood. These poor people haven't been able to get a CO yet. They want to rent it drastically. But between the substandard craftsmanship from Gil and Ed Silman, they had to dig down a few feet, put in all these cement footers, and jack the house up, and still waiting. They got to put a new roof on too because the roof leaks like a sieve. The last realtor was misrepresenting it. I forget her name. She lived in the neighborhood, still has a house in the neighborhood too. But the last realtor that sold it represented everything. Apparently, they got an estimate for like $140,000 to do the work. And Gil refused to have it done. So these poor people had to have a whole foundation put in. Re-insulate because the rats and the bats ate all the insulation up. So they had to pour concrete footers because, like I said, this moron, Gil Rieder Carlson, and the moron, Ed Silman, that he had do the work, just stuck untreated poles in the ground. The whole place was collapsing. Sat empty for sale for about 5.5 years. But this guy's wife, she ain't no princess either. She's a white-collar criminal. She laundered money through about 7 to 11 Jackson Hewitts for a drug kingpin in Florida. Her name is Fran Carlson, another white-collar criminal. 7 to 11 Jackson Hewitts. Hell, 7 to 11, 7-Eleven couldn't even put through enough money laundering than she and the guy, the drug kingpin at Jackson Hewitt. He owned like 7 to 11 Jackson Hewitts, and she laundered the money. So anyway, They used to live in, they were Bostonians that moved down to Osprey, Florida, ended up somewhere out there in Bradenton. Anyway, so they pretty much, if this were me, for the fraud and misrepresentation, a house that needed $140,000 worth of work from Ramjack, and he refused to get a structural surveyor, if I were these people, I would sue the bejeebies out of those two white-collar criminals. Gil and Fran Carlson. These people are incredible people that own it now, and it was just terrible that they inherited a place that was built without a contractor's license. Then he got caught, so somebody came up, guy's name's Roger, got the place semi to code. But when it's built on untreated wood, sitting on the side of a mountain and sliding off the mountain, and he sells a house knowing it needs $140,000 worth of work from Ramjack. So anyway, all the roof leaks, every valley leaks. It was all done substandard. Gil Rieder Carlson. But anyway, yeah, he had his little girlfriend. It was his stabbing shack, he called it, that he would come up here and get that little girl from her hair salon and bring, when he was in his 50s and 60s, his wife didn't know, of course. He's got Alzheimer's. He's got Alzheimer's now, so he doesn't know his butt from his elbow now. But his wife, boy, I'll bet she'd like to know about the girl on the east coast of Florida and the girl up here in Bakersville that he kept taking to his stabbing shack. Coming to you from Appalachian America, God's country.